all the years on the Rift have added up to this moment. This is real life, boys. It's mission critical that we intercept the target with ninja-like precision. Stixxay.
Yes, sir.
Call me Tafo. Well then.
Hey, Tafo, I know you got your big new job and you really want to put your footprint on it, but we got scrims at 4
Enough.
and I just like...
Guys, let's roll.
Watch his hair! Watch his hair! Watch his hair! Watch his hair!
Welcome to the squad, Smoothie. It's lunchtime.
What the f?
Hi guys, I'm Weldon, the coach of CLG's League Division, and I'm here with our new GM, Tafo.
Hey guys.
Our AD carry, Stixxay. And our newest support, Smoothie.
Hey.
And after that intense kidnapping session, we thought we're in the Hollywood area and we need to grab some lunch, so why not check out the awesome Yamashiro restaurant?
Yeah, I got the menu right here.
Wagyu? All right, I'm done. Get me in there.
Salmon and citrus. All right, anything that's fish.
Yeah,
Tempura.
it looks like they have a ton of stuff.
They have French fries.
What?
And they have a Wagyu burger also.
Oh my god.
All right, we're feasting.
This is so smooth, the scrolling of this website. Wow, it's so easy to reserve a reservation with this Squarespace website. Look, they have plenty of openings. Let's go.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey.
Good evening. My name's Scott. I'll be your server this evening at Yamashiro. To start you guys off, I just want to let you know about our daily specials. We do have a golden beet salad. We also have a Wagyu Kobe steak that's been aged for 1,176 days.
1,176.
That's a long time.
What you guys think about that? I'll be back in a minute.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it sounds pretty moldy.
So how'd you guys get your nicknames and your tags?
I guess I'll start. So it's pretty straightforward for me. I just found a name. I don't really care about my name. I just chose something. And I happened to find Smoothie back in the day, and I just kept it ever since. So it just eventually became my tag for a while.
What about you, Trevor?
So I made a band with my friend, and we called ourselves Sticks and Stones. And I was like the stick, you know, because I was playing the guitar, and he was like playing the stones. And then I just kind of added A at the end. I don't know. And I
Just
got
because
Stixxay.
it's catchy?
Yeah, it just sounded cool.
Stixxay.
So, yeah, so I'm Stixxay.
Mine's pretty boring and corporate. Like, I went through a bunch of different iterations of esport and psychology and mentality, and then I searched the copyright database to see like what was copyrighted and which websites were taken.
Is that mindgames.gg?
Yep.
Let's go.
Thanks for the plug.
I got you.
Pretty soon gonna be on Squarespace, I suppose. It's so funny because I feel like it's become a meme. It's like, you guys got Mind Game by Weldon, so it's like Mind Games GG. It's like what a lot of people use internally. I think for me, like it's pretty straightforward.
I can't get yours out of my head now that I know the origin.
Stinko fat backwards, slightly misspelled. I had a really bad internet like at home, and so I ran out of accounts to use. So I just started creating like names like for everything, and then eventually like I was just like screw it, I'm just gonna start reversing the names, and I wrote Tafokins, except it's slightly misspelled. It should be Tafo Knits if it's actually Stinko fat backwards, but by then my account was pretty smurf. It was like 30 or 35 and 0, and I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna keep it.
So can I call you Stinkofat?
Yeah, you can call me Stinko fat.
Okay.
Since you played with a bunch of other really good supports in the past, what's like one thing that's like really different that you noticed when you first started playing with Smoothie?
I don't mean this in a bad way, but I think he thinks for himself. Like before, I felt like what we did bot lane a lot of time was like what I wanted to do bot lane, but now it's like he has like his own agenda. Yeah, I feel like my other supports were like more like
It's your lane.
yeah, I can do what I want, but he's more hey, I'm gonna go roam top. See ya, you know.
You played with a lot of like really good North American AD carries. Like, what is something that's like really unique about Stixxay that you don't really see in the other AD carries that you've played with?
I think Trevor talks a lot more than my other 8 carries. It's something that's really helpful for me. So I think communication is so important.
I was just kind of curious, like, what do you think are some of like the differences between like CLG and being on a part of another org in like the past? Trevor, anything for you? I feel like you've been from CLG Black straight to CLG, so I don't know if you really have a point of comparison.
It's like a balance of putting pressure on people, but also making sure they feel like they can like have a life at the same time, if that makes sense. So.
Sure.
I feel like you can really taste the flavor of an org, of the OG orgs by like the founder. Like George imbued the org with his like kind of like the way of doing business, you know, like his way of like the amount of friendliness he had, the amount of consideration and care he had for other people, and I think that kind of like worked its way into the DNA.
So as a newcomer on the team, who do you guys view like your rivals on CLG?
I mean, for me, it's always just like former teammates. If they ever go to like a different team, I'm instantly just like, you're gonna regret that. I'm gonna show you why.
I got shown this guy, right?
Yeah. So I guess for me, now I guess it's kind of Bio for us because he's on TSM, which is also like the rival org.
True.
So probably Bio, I guess. Yeah.
How about you, Alden?
I would say definitely like Clutch Gaming would be a rival, except that like,
Let's just
you know,
insist.
because like we beat them in the third place match and we lost Go to Worlds, like it's a great start to a rivalry and now they're gone. And then, so maybe Dignitas will carry on that standard, but that could be a really good rivalry, I think, coming up.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like really hard to put a rivalry in. I've been at CLG for like a year and a half. And I feel like anytime there's a story that kind of builds where it's like, oh, hey, like there might be something growing, something between one of the two teams like falls apart, whether it's a rebrand or the players move on or one team no longer becomes like competitive. So it's like really hard to like say like that there's one rival. I want to win, so I'd say like all 9 teams are like rivals to me.
There we
for
go.
now.
There we go. My question is, if you could change one thing about the meta or about just like gameplay in League of Legends in general, like a principle of the game, what would it be?
Just like these insane like damage curves that every champion has. It's like pretty crazy. Like, for example, I was just playing a lot of mid lane this offseason, and I can just feel my champion is so much more powerful. You know, like you just do so much damage, and I don't feel like there's a ton of like you don't have to play situations perfectly to do that damage. It's kind of like you can play it half perfectly and still one-shot people, stuff like that. So I just wish there was less damage overall.
Maybe like less patch changes, because every 2 weeks, some patches are really massive, but you can't like perfect your craft in that 2 weeks at all. And also, it keeps like all pros have to keep grinding and grinding like 12 plus hours a day of scrims plus solo queue, and that's like absolutely needed to be the best, you know. So maybe like less patches, like maybe like 3 weeks instead of 2 weeks, perhaps.
So I think we can all agree that like League of Legends has a very passionate fan base, and you guys have, you know, a fair share of really awesome fans that like support you guys. But I wanted to ask you guys, like, what is like the most like strange, unusual fan interaction you've ever had in your career?
This girl wanted a photo of me kissing her cheek, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. It's really weird. I'm not just kissing a random person's cheek.
There was a fan that was taking pictures of pro players' palms. Like just
palms?
Yeah, just like their hands. And he was like collecting those, like on like a Polaroid. I'm not sure why, but like kind of felt kind of weird and giving a picture eye palm, you know?
Forensic files?
Yeah, I don't know.
So my son is 7, and I've already started him on League of Legends in the training mode. So when are you guys, if ever, are you going to let your kids play League of Legends? And if you're in a game against them, are you the dad that's going to like go easy on them and let them kill you, or are you going to smash them mercilessly to teach them the truth?
I mean, I probably would, yeah. I guess it only makes sense to kind of pass down the family tree, yeah. Give him some of my tactics. But, I mean, if I was against him, I'm for sure, like, you know, killing him and then typing a wall in all chat or something. It's like, you gotta make him look dumb, you know?
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't really force it. Like if my kid hated League, like there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at the very least, I want to teach him enough that like at least we can talk, because if I'm still working in the industry, like I wanted to have like somewhat of a relatable experience that I can talk about and the kid could like understand.
Better question is, if they're playing Fortnite, would you force them to stop, or?
As long as I don't have to do the dances, I think we're good. Like if I have to go and floss and do all this like weird stuff, then I'm like, okay, like that's you, like I'm never gonna do that. So I think a lot of you guys have had a lot of like success, like, you know, either domestically or internationally. Like, what would you say is like the most like memorable stage moment that you've ever had?
My most memorable stage moment was just feeding versus smoothie. Actually, that's probably my most memorable. It's just like ingrained in my brain. I just see it.
I agree.
It's crazy.
If I write it down, it's in my head forever.
Yeah.
Like, I know exactly which game it is.
I can actually picture myself sitting on the stage and thinking to myself, I can't believe this is happening. You know? It's so sad.
My first full year in C9, and it was my first year, right? So I never accomplished anything yet.
remember this.
So beating Immortals and going to Worlds, that was like super surreal because they were like the best team in the region for like the whole split, and then they just choked in playoffs, I guess. And yeah, that was like the coolest thing for me.
Toronto 2016 summer when we beat you guys on stage.
Weird flex.
That was like, but that was like one of the biggest arenas I think.
Yeah,
that
it was
we've
really
been
fun.
in.
Toronto was
Right?
really
It was like
Toronto was
like
insane.
18,000 or something. It was insane. It was huge, and I never saw fans like that again until Brazil. And after we won, like the hype was so huge that everybody just ran off the stage and circled the arena, like high-fiving everybody in the front row the whole way around, and that was super epic. Thank you so much for joining us for this CLG Fine Dining experience presented by Squarespace. And I hope that you guys learned a lot of new things about all of us today. And there's only one thing left. That is, who's paying for
Wait,
this?
this is on me, on my Riot LCS Gold card.